Get therapy.
I'm hungry.
Get therapy.
What's going on, WikiManiacs? Welcome to a Wednesday live stream. John will be here in a second. We've been hitting some technical difficulties, so apologies for the late start here. It's got to be the least I've ever been prepared for a live stream. There's John.
Can you hear me now, buddy?
I can hear you now.
What the hell? Maybe we should have just gone live this whole time.
We should have, maybe. That would have fixed everything, obviously.
Oh my gosh. It's not like we don't do this every week, but OBS. Anyways, hi, everybody. Thank you for your patience. We appreciate you being here.
Yes, we do. There we go. We got the chat up. We're live on Patreon, Twitch, YouTube.
Ooh.
Shout out to everyone.
Beautiful.
Yeah. I was just telling chat, John, this is the least prepared I've ever been for a live stream.
Guys, please cut Josh some slack. He was gone over the weekend, and immediately when he got back, we put him to work. So please give our white devil a break. He works hard.
Yeah, I was editing Friday's episode this morning. Good episode. You'll see. It's a fun one. You guys did do a story that we covered before, so that's always fun to see.
Sorry, not sorry. Think about it. We've done over. This is gonna be like what?
It's close.
We've done about like 350 something episodes.
Yeah, true.
Give or take 5 to 6 stories per episode. We've read about like 1,500 shit already. For us to remember every single story, I gotta say that's gonna be impossible for me. I don't even remember what I eat for breakfast most days. So you're asking a lot from your boy.
Yeah, it's definitely tough. And then I've also turned myself up, so hopefully people can hear me this episode.
Yeah, if I'm being too loud, again, I apologize for nothing.
Yeah. And yeah, so today we're going to read some stories. I've got one of the longest we've ever done.
Ooh, it's going to be an hour long.
It'll be a decent chunk of the time. But before we do that, let's do some I don't know, updates, announcements, whatever we want to call them.
Brother.
This month for $10 patrons will be my last Tuesday episode.
Sean fired Josh.
Sean fired me. He's taken over for May and then going forward. So it'll be John and Sean on the Tuesday episodes. Apart from that, I think next week or the 9th. Yeah, the 9th. We're going to be doing a live stream behind the paywall. And then
Sean is there.
Because Sean is there, and you know how
problem guy.
You know how Sean is. Dino BS says that's not Tuesday anymore. That's correct. John, what are you guys calling it?
Josh, maybe you should say it for us out loud.
I don't want to get canceled this early into the, live stream.
What are we called? What are we called, Josh? 3, 2, 1.
They're calling them the brownies.
Ooh, that sounds very racial coming from you.
Yeah, that's why I didn't want to say.
Nah, just kidding, man.
So yeah, it'll be a good time. John and Sean will bring some stories to that for the bonus stuff.
It'll be unhinged. The two of us with no Josh proctoring us, boy, that's gonna be dangerous as hell.
It's gonna be crazy. Also, we've got quite a few guests for this upcoming month. John said I work hard, but goddamn, he's been working hard to schedule some guests this month.
Should we reveal some of them?
It's up to you if you want to do it. You're the planner.
Chat, should I reveal? You let us know, or you want to be surprised.
Yeah, you could be surprised if you want to be.
Kevin is very insightful, so it's not him, unfortunately. So, okay.
Patreon's begging to know.
I mean, all right. I guess the patrons asked. So, we're trying to iron out schedule, but we have a few confirmation already. So this Friday, we are doing a collab with Stuart once again with British Murderers, but I think it's going to be on his feed for the most part. And anything, we're gonna translate it to us later on down the line because we're still doing the same format. He did ask us to join over his show. We are bringing Aileen back. If you guys remember Aileen, she guested last January, if I'm not mistaken. So she's gonna be an awesome guest. And also we're lined up. Or go ahead, Josh. Were you saying something?
Oh, I was just saying, hell yeah.
Oh yeah. And then we are going to be collabing with 2 Reddit themed podcasts. So they did agree with us. So we're going to be hanging out with Thread Talk, and we're also going to be collabing with a podcast, Will Save This Relationship. So coming up, guys, pretty excited. So we're trying to collab with more creators as well, because we want to venture out and we want to build a community around them too.
No collab with Smosh yet, but
unfortunately.
But we've got the creators we got lined up are all amazing creators. So
absolutely,
super excited to work with them. And yeah, I think that's the rest of the announcements for this month.
And if you have any other creators that you'd like us to collab with, please let us know. I do shoot my shot all the time. I might miss 99% of the time, but the 1% they respond, we will be there.
And they apparently all respond in April. Crazy.
Your boy was relentless this month.
I looked at my schedule and I was like, fuck, we're going to be busy. So yeah, super excited about that. Yeah, I am still a little jet lagged. It's a 2-hour time change. Doesn't seem like much, but when you're waking up, it hits hard.
It does, buddy. I feel you.
It's like 7, but actually 5 a.m. It hurts.
You're telling me I had to deal with that. I'm going to deal with that next week.
True. Yeah, you're going the other way.
Yeah, I'm going to East Coast next week. So
to Philadelphia, I believe, right?
Yeah, I'm going to eat a lot of cheesesteaks. I am going to die majority of the time because I am lactose intolerant. So.
Hell yeah.
Fun stuff.
All right. Tons of recommendations in chat. So John will check through them. And
yes, I will get everything. And again, half of these people that you guys suggested, I have sent an email. I have sent a DM. Only a few respond. So we'll see.
Basement Yard would be cool. I will say they are pretty big. So I'm not holding my breath for them. They would be an amazing guest to have, though. I love those.
Same as Rotten Mango, probably. Yep. Same as Drew a Follow. Trust me, we try.
I will say the Basement Yard guys, they give Sean energy. They would be
all day.
Yeah, I feel they would be a great bounce off each other. Like
they seem very wholesome as well. So that's like the type of broness I do enjoy.
Absolutely. All right, John. Well, let's hop into the first story of the day.
Let's do it.
Did you want to go first?
All mine are always listener stories or listener submitted. So
right,
you tell me what you want to do, brother.
Okay. Well, I've got a short one, and then I've got the super long one, and then the rest of mine are relatively short. Okay. Well, everything's relatively short compared to the super long one that I have. So why don't you go first? Then I'll hit them with a short one. Then you hit them with another one, and then I'll go the long one.
I like it. By the way, it's they're all depressing.
Oh,
story of our lives. Zelda Baldwin. Oh, sorry, not Zelda Baldwin. Mark Narrations. Fred, we did get a chance to have a conversation with him. We did ask. However, they say they want to remain anonymous. So, like, we completely understand why they didn't want to hop on an episode with us. So,
yeah. He is great though.
They are great. Mark. Yeah. I think they reached out to us after we got mentioned in one of the stories.
Yeah, we did.
They were so kind. They were so kind.
Super nice. Nice.
All right. So, trigger warning for this one, WikiManiacs. There is starting off hot. There is stalking, abuse, and animal cruelty for this one.
Okay, let me get the trigger warning going here. What was it again? Stalking,
abuse, and animal cruelty. Oh, Zelda. Hi from Dayton, Ohio. I was stationed there for a little bit. I hung out at the Greens way too much. Skyline Chili still sucks, Zelda. I'm sorry.
I don't know if that's how you spell cruelty, but it's there. It's definitely not. Man, I've got to get better at spelling. Oh, the E goes before the L. Okay, there we go.
Cruelty.
Man.
I like it.
Holy, I'm running on absolutely just caffeine today.
Josh, Artie's right there. You might need to hug Artie after this story, brother.
I'll show Artie. She's being a little cutie. Hey, Artie. We'll see. Yeah. If I zoom myself in, then it messes up all the rest of the scene. So I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah, don't even put me in. Just put Artie there so that way everyone's comfortable. And, anyways. All right. You guys ready for this?
They can't answer, but I am.
Okay. All right. So this one is posted by one of our listeners, Immediate Candy 8913. And again, the title is My Toxic Ex is Stalking Me.
Oh, right. I need to be on the trigger warning part. Okay.
Whew. All right. So for background, I'm a 17-year-old girl and my ex is 19. In early February of last year, I met my ex-boyfriend, who I'll call T. We were set up by a mutual friend who didn't turn out to be a great fellow either, but that's for later. Me and T only dated for around 6 to 7 months, not a sustainable amount of time, but we talked about many serious things. For example, while with him, I realized things I didn't know about how I dove into relationships. For example, I learned that I have bad jealousy issues. 4 or so months in, I can't exactly remember since I have a very ill memory. He cheated on me with a distant friend. He was sexting her behind my back and had intent to bring things physically. I was playing with Snapchat on his phone when the message popped up. He began to freak out, so obviously, I clicked on the notifications. I won't get into the detail, but it was bad. We were off and on. He cheated on me 3 times more before things got legally bad. He became erratic and was no longer the man that I knew before. For one, brace yourself, guys. For one, he strangled a cat, recorded a video, and sent it to many people on campus. Then, he pushed me into oncoming traffic, which is self-explanatory. This is where we broke up for real. Quit the on and off. Oh, thank you, dear. My Juliet brought me matcha. She's so cute.
Okay.
I love you. This is where we broke up for real. Quit the on and off, though he still remained close. The most recent, he took an axe and mutilated a possum in his backyard, cut it up, and threw it into a pond.
Holy shit.
Disturbed, I contacted the coordinating people, but nothing was done. After admitting that he would use my past traumas to, quote unquote, get me back, I stared into a mental breakdown. He continues to touch me, follow me, when I am not only in a healthy relationship, but have done the proper steps into avoiding him much as possible. T has hurt me, scared me, and left deep scars that he continues to poke. I need advice and would love if the boys could give me any advice.
Okay. So wait, are they still with this person? Sorry, I am.
No,
I've been partially trying to fix things, and then
they're not with this person anymore. However, they're continually the ex is continually disturbing them by getting in contact with them, even though OP is currently in a relationship with somebody now.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So I don't want to reveal too much, but I've been in a similar situation personally. And I think I've referred to it before, but yeah, you've got to. This advice is going to be both what you should do and also probably not going to do anything, but you have to do it, and that is report it to the police. You want to have a paper trail, and try and get a restraining order, but in my experience, it doesn't always work. And until something happens, which is a bigger issue with the, police system, and usually the police are good in those situations. It's usually the judge that failed us in our certain scenario, but you still have to do it because you want to have that paper trail. so that you can slowly build a case and hopefully get a restraining order, which can lead to anytime he contacts you, like getting arrested, hopefully. This person needs serious medical help. I don't know. I wish there was more mental health facilities that could deal with this. Because that's what needs to happen. He needs to be like clearly taken care of that way. And because nothing's going to change, but yeah, many people are saying it. Cameras, restraining order, pepper spray, from Mama Layla. That's a great advice. I don't know. John, you can jump in whenever you want. This one hits close to home for me.
Yeah, it's one of those like very, dangerous situation. And it's always unfortunate that kind of like based on Josh's experience, like no matter, even if things like this happen and things escalate to this level, that it's in a burden of the person that's getting harassed to, get the proper justice that they need, right? Because that's a scary thing to deal with on a daily basis. You can't even live your life properly without looking over your shoulder and thinking that person's going to be there, because more chances than are not, like they're there, kind of just making your life miserable. Josh already had a bunch of great information that he provided. I'd go it a little bit extra too. If funds are there and if you have the time, I would say I would go in a better way and just go maybe seek out assistance with like a self-defense class or something, right? Because you never know in those situations. At least you'll kind of have a leg up or find a way to like defend yourself in some way. Pepper spray is a good thing. A buddy system could also work as well. So maybe if you can maybe go to work or school or something that someone can help you out, that would be amazing. I took Krav Maga for a little bit just in case for like preparation. Taking boxing now too. So if anyone wants to square up, like, ready, because, things like that happen. Things can escalate in a quick level too. I would suggest too that if, I feel like a lot of times police won't act on it unless there's some sort of concrete evidence. In this situation, as grotesque and as scary as it is, seeing a mutilated animal, they're kind of dumb because they provided photographic evidence.
That is true.
And video too, that they did something like that. And again, as someone who is an avid true crime listener, usually there's a three things that serial killers apparently have growing up: bedwetting, killing animals, and a bonk to the head as a child. Maybe they have 2 out of 3 of those things already. There's a potential this person is capable of doing that. Taking an axe and chopping up a possum, that is scary, sadistic behavior. So I would go further, and as much as I don't want to see those things, you use that as an evidence to the cops saying like, hey, this person has been torturing me for so long. Maybe they can do something. And I did see someone in the chat said that sometimes restraining orders can like escalate the behaviors of like the person that's doing it. That is a sad reality, unfortunately, but it's also something that could potentially, help you if you do have that order, because then it's documented, like what Josh is mentioning.
Yeah. There are like obviously negative sides to having a restraining order, but the positives outweigh that, I find, because it's like anytime they even mildly break it, that's like instant grounds for arrest and being charged, right? So it just gives you that extra layer of protection. Again, that shouldn't be your only move. Many people, like I said, cameras at your place if you can afford it, and then pepper spray, any kind of self-defense, never going anywhere alone or anything like that. Mm-hmm. That's my biggest advice. Also please don't listen to our advice first. I would suggest go to someone professional and someone that has knowledge with the legal system, because we don't want to advise you on something that's completely wrong. True. This is just kind of like, this is the point of view of some people, like, unprofessionals. This is what we would do in this situation, but we suggest that you seek or especially Josh too. Like, that's what I did.
But just seek legal help and seek professional help. that's the best that I can provide us right now.
Yeah. Quick shout out to Roadkill, who gives $2 and said, you guys are getting me through the finals and graduating. And then, so thank you for that, Roadkill. And then
Thank you, Roadkill.
shout out to Ace, who sent a donation in the first stream, but got missed because it got canceled. So they said, I wrote a little donation for my first stream. Best way of starting off my Farabend, which is the end of work day, and sending lots of love from Germany.
Oh,
Shout out Ace.
Deutschland.
That. And then they gifted 5 memberships.
Oh, thank you, Ace.
Thank you very much.
And good luck, Roadkill, to your is it graduate degree? Masters.
Getting me through finals and graduating.
Oh, there you go. Look at you. I'm gonna be super rich, and you're gonna give more donations, right? Roadkill? I'm channeling my inner Sean here, but he'll be here next week.
They say high school.
Oh, shit. High school is cool too, man. Congrats.
Awesome. Okay, well, let's move on to a bit more of at least a funnier story for you, probably, John.
Good, because I have none. That's good.
Shit, if they're all as heavy as that one, it's going to be a tough stream.
Yeah, dude, come on. Listener stories, please. Give us something nicer. What are y'all doing?
All right, so this one comes from r/petty revenge.
My favorite.
John's favorite. Posted by Best Spaghetti Western. And the title is, someone kept hitting their car door into my car while I was in it, so I returned the favor.
Hell yeah.
So I was parked in a student parking structure and was stuck on a phone call before heading out. There was an SUV that pulled in next to me, and for the first few minutes, one of the girls had her door open while she was looking through the back seat. The door kept banging into my car, and I looked over and saw that she wasn't paying attention at all. When all was said and done, her friend came out on the other side of the car, and they both left. I noticed the friend pointing out that her door was hitting my car, and that's when she looked and saw me sitting in my car. I shook my head at her, seeing that she was chuckling at the situation. I didn't say anything because I was still on the phone. Disrespect. Just laughing after you hit someone's car. It is crazy. They were long gone by the time I finished my call, so I pulled my car to park on the other side of her car and proceeded to slam my car door into hers repeatedly until some dents started caving in.
Hell yeah.
My car's super old, so no biggie, but just because it's old doesn't mean people should be careless dicks about it. Anyway, it went fine and I feel a lot better about the situation overall. And that is the end.
The way I would just run my keys and just be like, oopsie.
I knew this one would be your
Wheelhouse.
This would be right in your wheelhouse. That's exactly how you would react.
I'll do all the. If they have one of those cars too, did they have a newer car? They said.
OP.
No, not OP, but the people slamming into their car.
Didn't say whether it was new or not. It just said it was an SUV, presumably newer than OP's.
Okay, what I would do in this situation, just so they won't see any physical damage, this is how diabolical I would think. Okay, if they have one of those those cars with the gas container, or like the where you put the gas, is like one of those things that just opens automatically like a flap instead of opening it manually from the inside.
Okay, the
way I would open that, uncork the little gas container and put water on the tank.
God. Dasani.
Oh, that's even worse. But you would never catch me carrying that.
You know what?
Right?
Actually, though, the car might be able to run off Dasani.
Oh, that's true. It's straight up fucking disgusting. But anyways, that's what I would do. So that way the damage is going to be worse. And it's something that's not immediate. So it's not an instant gratification thing, but knowing that maybe sometime in their life, they'll get stranded somewhere where they'll just stuck and fucking think about all their life decisions. That's what I want to happen to them.
Holy, that is even pettier.
Good.
Because it's like, it's almost like psychological at that point. Because you're like, yeah, it's a game now. You're like,
oh, someone said put sugar in there, or a potato in the muffler. The way I would just stick things in places that they can't know what's wrong with it. Or I would go somewhere, find like the hubcap, fish, or some shit. Something that will fuck up their life. You know, make things a little bit miserable for them.
I will say the one thing I worry about is this is in like a student parking lot. So there could be cameras potentially.
Could be.
So double check before you do any of that stuff that John said.
Damn. I am just gonna, you know, put a mask on. Put a little put a shiesty, you know. It's like, you don't know who I am.
Break the wipers. People are going ham in the comments.
You know, it's sometimes equal energy is warranted. All right, you fucking laugh at me with my dusty ass car, and it's funny to you that you slam your car door, bitch. You gonna get yours someday. Trust me.
Yeah. Definitely, the laughing was like, all right,
that's on purpose.
That's you're being a dick.
Yeah.
Also,
I've had someone like accidentally slam into my car and like quick. They were so quick. Like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Like, I didn't mean to do that. I just, you know,
which is cool.
I'm like, dude, it's fine. There's no scratches. I ain't tripping.
Yeah.
If they say sorry remotely, I'm like, hey, shit happens.
Any sort of apology.
Yeah, I'll take that all day.
Yeah.
Gosh, you riled me up. You know, I love being petty, bro.
I do.
I like getting wrong sometimes because of the things that I would like to do back to them.
I know you do. Shout out to Ace for gifting 3 more memberships. So if you got a gifted membership, thank Ace. And then use that membership to watch some bonus content.
A lot.
After this. Don't leave. John needs you
speaking of bonus content, guys, today, if you're a patron or a YouTube member, if I'm correct, Josh, all the stories that we did back in March, like the bonus stories from like the Mondays and the Fridays episode, Josh does this amazing thing where he compiles every single one of them. So if you haven't listened to it yet, it's like a whole ass 2.5 hour episode. So I'm just saying, Josh works hard, people. This man puts a lot of work in this show.
Yeah, it's not live on YouTube yet, but it will be right after this stream. So you can check it out then.
Yeah, we had to hold off on it, you know. And after this, we're also recording the last Tuesday. So there's a lot of content out there, people.
Gonna be busy.
We busy. All right. You ready to get depressed again, brother?
Oh, man. Yeah, I guess. Maybe I will show Artie.
Yeah, you might want to hug your cat a lot. All right, so the title for this one is, this one is posted by No Lower Score Employment 3631. Again, this is all listener submitted by personal stories by our WikiManiacs on our subreddit. The title for this one is, Am I the Asshole for Ending My Marriage?
No. Because it's listener submitted, and I don't know if we've had a listener asshole yet.
Not yet.
Although I have a bad memory. Could have happened.
Same. Coming from a guy who used the same story.
Fair. I mean, we've all done it.
Yeah, we've done it. It's all good. All right. So am I, a 31-year-old female, an asshole for ending my marriage with 32-year-old male, now ex-husband? My ex and I started dating when I was 16 and he was 17 years old. We were high school sweethearts. For context, my upbringing was a little rough. My dad used drugs, was an alcoholic, and put us in debt, and then abandoned the family by the time I was 12 years old. One of my sisters were diagnosed with a rare thyroid cancer at the age of 13 and passed away at 21. Due to the debt my dad left us in, we almost lost our house when I was a teenager, and when I was graduating high school, this led to my mother marrying my stepfather so we could move in with him. He is a good man. However, at the time, this caused a lot of conflict, and there was some verbal and emotional abuse directed at myself from my mother and stepfather. Oh, Pete, that's not an easy life. My ex was my best friend. He was my safe place and also the reason for me to live. I was severely depressed and suicidal at the time, and he was the reason I got up in the morning. I trusted him fully because I had no reason not to. We had our own group of friends and our own interests, but when we came together, things were electric. On our first year anniversary, my ex had logged in on his social media accounts on my home computer to check his messages and forgot to log out. When he went home, I looked at his messages and he had been cheating on me the entire year of our relationship.
What the fuck?
He was sexting someone else for the entire time that was a friend of mine, and also in my own Bible study.
In your Bible study.
That's wild. The body of Christ. Ooh. Yeah. Y'all bodying something else.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out a pun for that one, but
same. I blanked out there, buddy.
It wasn't coming, but he was.
Oh, nailed it. I spent the night.
Jesus.
I'm going to hell.
Thank God Sean's not here.
Fuck me. Oh. We're heathens, bro. We're fucking heathens. Oh my God, where was I? I spent the night dry heaving and wanting to vomit. I had such a low self-esteem at the time, and I decided to forgive him and see how the relationship would continue. His flirtatious and sexual behaviors continued for 10 years.
10 years.
Nothing 100% showing he was cheating on me, but constantly planting doubt in my head if he was being faithful to me. Also, he would lie to me about where he was, when he was coming home, who he was hanging out with, even though there would be no reason to. We had been married at 7 years of being together, and things only continued to go downhill at that rate. He drank a lot, would scream at me during sex, leave me when I have a panic attack, told me he liked nothing about me, but yet constantly treated me like I was the issue. He was also unemployed 6 months of the year each year, while I worked 5 jobs and also put myself through school to try to find a better job.
OP, I gotta ask,
Why
did you stay with this man for so long?
During COVID was the end of our marriage. I finally sought therapy and saw a lot of the flaws of our marriage / communication / etc. I have since been divorced and am now happy in a relationship of 4+ years with 3 dogs, and we could not be happier. And I'm talking about getting engaged this year.
Hell yeah.
The only issue is that my ex eloped last year with some girl he barely dated. He has incorporated her into his friend groups, family vacations, etc. And she seems to fit in a way better than I was ever included to be. And he appears to be happier than he ever was with me. So here's my question. Was I too broken to be in a healthy relationship with him? Was I the asshole for giving up on him and us? And I am just trying to get some sort of closure before I move on completely in my new relationship.
Sorry, I had to move over to show my face of fuck no. You were
no.
What the hell? No. He was fucked up, it sounded like. And it sounds like you know, I wish nothing but the worst for him, but it sounds like the break was better for both of you. And that you've both hopefully, you know, less so you, but worked on yourselves and become better people, and are with better people. Like you're with a better person. He's with whoever the fuck he's with. That's what I meant. He was a fucking dickhead to you for 10 years and never once in there did I hear a good thing. So yeah, I think you're in the clear, OP. Definitely not the asshole. Don't look back. Enjoy the relationship you're in, and as Zong Lily said in the chat here, good riddance.
Oh, good riddance for sure. Hey, I did say in the beginning that your upbringing, a lot of people would, you know, give up on that because that's rough. You know, my goodness, like being abandoned like as early as 12 years old, your sister dealing with thyroid cancer at the young age of 13, you know, having to deal with her loss, having to assimilate with a new family, with a new stepdad, and your mother and your stepdad doesn't seem like they were kind of good people to you too. It's unfortunate that I'm not blaming you in this scenario. There could be other underlying issues that a therapist that is probably discussing with you right now since you're in this journey. The reason why you stayed with this person for 10 years, but there was nothing great about this person. And like kind of what Josh said, do yourself a freaking favor and completely Men in Black erase everything that you knew or remember about this guy. Cause that's 10 years that he wasted in your life, you know? And I'm glad that you were able to bounce back in your feet, 4+ years in a new relationship. You seem happy. 3 puppies, 3 babies, the dogs that you guys have, and thinking about getting married. Hopefully the partner you found now is the person of your dreams. And that last relationship that you were part of, hopefully the lessons that you learned from that is like identifying all the red flags that person clearly fucking displayed. And if your partner right now displays any of that shit, you shut that shit down quick, because that's 10 years of your life that went away, girl. So like, yeah, like you learn from that lesson, and hopefully have a happy, stable, and healthy relationship moving forward.
And then I got to shout out Lena the Conqueror in chat, who said, "Show us the cat," and sent $2. So I did. Already was on the whole story there. So
nice.
Maybe we'll do it again for the next story.
Pimping out our pets for money.
Yeah. Well, she is comforting.
She is.
She's licking herself now, though. So
yeah, mine's are.
We don't want to get demonetized.
Mine's are a bunch of gremlins, so they're loud. All you hear is the whole day. Crazy.
All right, John, are you ready for the long story today?
Let's do it, brother.
All right, this one is from Best of Redditor Updates, originally from, I believe, Am I the Asshole? AITAH. And it's by Helpful, lower score listen, lower score 1765. Title is, would I be the asshole for telling my wife to show me her phone after I got an email accusing her of cheating?
Ooh. OP got an email saying like, hey, your wife is cheating?
Yeah.
Well, on his personal email, it seems like.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I would ask her like, hey, can you comfort me? Can you just entertain me and just squash this rumor altogether? I don't think that's an asshole move to just ask for that.
Okay. Sounds good. So I, 47 male, have a comfortable and fulfilling life. I have a job I truly enjoy. I live in a nice suburb and am blessed with 3 wonderful children, 8 male, 6 female, and 4 female, and a lovely wife, Emily, 45. I've always felt Emily and I were an ideal match. However, a recent email I received has deeply unsettled me and planted a seed of doubt in my mind. Emily lived in the UK between 2010 and 2015, during which time she pursued a PhD. Because she lived there for so long, she developed many close friendships and has made it a point to return every couple of years to maintain those ties. This past August, she traveled to the UK for 3 weeks to attend a wedding of one of her close friends. After some consideration, we agreed that it would be best for me and the children to remain at home, as I could not take that much time off work, and the children were unlikely to find much enjoyment in such an event. Emily departed, returned as expected, and life returned to normal for us. Last week, I received an email at my work email address. It was supposedly from the wife of Emily's friend. I'll call him Jake, 44 male. According to this woman, she has very strong reason to suspect that Jake and Emily engaged in an affair. She listed off her suspicions, noting Jake had picked Emily up from the airport, spent considerable time at her hotel, and how the two of them frequently went out to dinner alone. She even included pictures of my wife's earring that she found in Jake's pocket when she was doing laundry, and a picture of lipstick stained on his shirt. The color is one I recognize as something Emily often wears.
Wait, time out. I completely blanked out. Who's the one that's telling this to the OP?
Jake's wife.
Jake's wife. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. Who is
Jake, you snake.
Who is OP's wife, Emily's best friend in the UK.
Oh, if the best friend's the one giving you the deets. Oh, that's sus, bro.
Well, Jake is the best friend. Sorry.
Oh, Jake's the best friend.
Yeah.
My meds hasn't kicked in yet, if you guys can tell.
Okay. It was a bit confusing, we put. But yes, Emily and Jake are best friends. And then Jake's wife has contacted OP.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm tracking now. I'm tracking.
No worries. I was also lost the first time I read it, so I'm sure there were a few others. There is some other evidence she listed off for the sake of conciseness. I will not include them here. All of this was a lot to absorb, and for a while I thought it was some sort of joke. So I tried my best to ignore it, but it kept coming back into my mind. I remember that before her trip, my wife would talk to all her friends there. I don't know if this is the email influencing my memory, but I think she probably spoke with Jake the most. Additionally, I know Emily never liked Jake's wife, though I can't say why. I never pried into Emily's phone or social media accounts before, but I feel very tempted to now. However, I know I'd feel terrible if I looked and found nothing. Also, if I started acting suspicious, she would just delete everything out of fear of being found out, right? I'm unsure of how to move forward and would welcome any guidance on handling this. The best I can currently come up with is asking to see her phone immediately after confronting her about it, so as to not give her time to delete anything. Though part of me thinks this would upset her and potentially not even show anything. Edit, I forgot to include, my wife no longer has those earrings. She wasn't wearing them when she returned, and when I asked about them, she said she lost them. So would I be the asshole for telling my wife to show her the phone after I got an email accusing her of cheating?
I'm curious about the relationship dynamic between Emily and Jake's wife. Like, I wonder if they were given a reason why they don't like each other, or why Emily doesn't like Jake's wife. And also, I don't right now, obviously this is just like the first entry of this story, but I don't see any, reason or correlation as to why Jake's wife would. Usually I'd be like, oh, because the other person, making these types of emails or accusations may be lusting for somebody else in this post, but it doesn't seem like OP and Jake's wife doesn't have that type of dynamic. So I would feel wary, and say, hey, if this was prompted or if this was like unprompted and then they just provided me details about possibly cheating, I would want to know immediately. It's like, hey, can you just rest my mind right now, because I just received this email that this is a big deal. If it's not true, cool, we can move forward with this. But if it is, then we got to do something about this shit.
Right. Yeah, I think that's where I would lie as well. Like, definitely a conversation to be like, hey, I just need you to confirm this isn't what's happening. Because this is a very weird email to receive. So yeah, I think that's the route I would go as well.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't come at it as like accusatory off the bat. Just like, hey, I just received something weird. Can you just let me know if it's true or not?
Yeah.
Before guns blazing, because I don't know, but everyone acts different in this situation. Honestly, I would say that I'll be calm about it, but if I see something like that, I'd probably be pissed off.
Yeah, because like you could assume the other side of it is maybe this is a, probably maybe a jealous partner who's like, I don't fuck with Emily. I don't want Jake to be hanging out with her. I'm going to make up some shit. That is a possibility. Mm-hmm. So going into it with like, just like as a conversation to open it up, because it could be nothing. Or you could have a very more serious conversation coming up, which would be, hopefully not where this goes.
Yeah. Ooh, I'm curious what the updates are.
So, update number 1 was 10 days later on October 18th, 2024. So a few hours after sharing my post, I confronted Emily, and she confirmed my fears. She claims she's in love with Jake and can't live a lie any longer.
Hey, yo.
Yeah.
Emma, leave your ass. What the fuck you mean?
She still claims to love me and the kids, but she can't stay with us any longer. According to her, she was waiting for a better time to tell me and the children. Apparently, this has been going on since March, with Jake flying out here on occasions and Emily meeting him secretly.
You trifling bitch.
Yeah. We're getting divorced. Emily is moving to the UK soon. She confirmed that in August, in addition to the wedding.
Enjoy your beans and toast, you asshole.
Sean would be pissed just because you're going to have worse food.
I hope you fucking enjoy tuna and beans, you bitch.
She attended a job interview and is set to start around the new year. She already applied for a British visa, and she plans to live with Jake once she moves. So she's had this all planned out. Like, that's crazy.
Hey, Samantha on our Patreon's like, how can people just leave their kids? I agree.
Yeah. Here we go. We can get the answer here. As for custody, Emily is voluntarily surrendering her chance at full custody. She doesn't want to uproot the kids, so they'll stay with here in Canada with me. There's a part of me that appreciates that decision, but there's also a part that's astonished at how easily she's walking away. She wants to pay child support, but I'd rather raise my children without her financial influence. I gotta say, take the child support. Fuck that. That said, the court will likely insist on support regardless of my feelings. Emily is also seeking structural visitation rights, which, given the circumstance, will be granted. Based on what I've been told, the court generally leans towards an arrangement that allows both parents to maintain relationships with the children, even when one is relocating to a different country. The lawyers are still working out the details, but it seems she'll have a visitation during school breaks and holidays, with the possibility of virtual calls in between. I've been keeping things as amicable as possible, and the more cooperative I am, the more Emily seems to agree with my demands. We are also discussing the future of our home. Emily has expressed a desire to sell the property and divide the proceeds. While I am reluctant to part with the family home, it is unlikely I have much of a choice since it was bought during our marriage. So that sucks. But
you deserve nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing. I would fight tooth and nail and have a legal smear campaign. Are you kidding me? You uprooted our life instead of doing the right thing and say like, hey, I'm unhappy with you and I'm happy with our marriage. Can we please divorce? That is so much easier than saying like, oh, by the way, I've been scheming this whole time. I already have a job interview lined up. I'm in love with fucking Jake the Snake. Already I'm working on my visa. And by the way, you can have sole custody of the kids. And bitch, you're demanding that you get half of shit?
Yeah.
You're lucky I'm even talking to your ass right now. I would tell the kids. Now I'm like, your mom is the most evil person in the world, and I don't want you to have any I don't give a fuck if she birthed you. Are you kidding me right now?
I would say that to the kids because that is also like weaponizing the children. And
that's
like,
true, but that's just me.
Leave them out of it. They're innocent. But yeah, it's insane. I forget where I was. No, it's all good. Given the situation, it could be a while before we reach a resolution. In the meantime, I've been advised not to make any major financial moves. As much as I want to stay here with the children, I know selling is most likely inevitable. As of this writing, Emily is in an Airbnb and Jake has flown here to stay with her. They plan on traveling to the UK at some point in the near future. My lawyer tells me that adultery isn't grounds for special treatment when it comes to custody or property division, which I think is a lie. I can't imagine that's true. Therefore, it won't influence how assets are divided unless marital funds are directly involved. Emily likely used money from her personal account. Unless it can be proven that she used our joint account to fund the affair, it's unlikely that this will make any difference in court. I've been in regular communication with Jake's soon-to-be ex-wife, Eleanor, primarily through email, and more recently we've spoken over the phone a few times. Eleanor apologized, saying she felt guilty for telling me about the affair and worried that if she hadn't, maybe my marriage could have been salvaged. I reassured her.
Eleanor did the right thing.
Oh, yeah, she absolutely did. I reassured her that for me, the gravity of the situation made the divorce inevitable, and I'd rather not remain in the dark about something of this significance. She even sent me messages and other evidence of their relationship, but since Emily is openly admitting to the affair, it doesn't really matter in the context of the law. Eleanor has also told me a lot about Jake. Apparently, this is the third time he's cheated on her, and she's had enough. There's no chance of reconciliation this time, she says, and he doesn't seem interested in trying. She mentioned that Jake has zero desire to raise children who are not biologically his, which explains why Emily's not fighting for custody. So Jake doesn't want the kids. Yeah.
Jake is trash, and I can't believe Emily left her family for Jake's.
For a piece of shit. Holy.
For Jake's. You addicted to what Jake did, and you a bitch for that, girl. Oh my God.
Eleanor's divorce will most likely be much longer and more drawn out than mine, given that both she and Jake want full custody of their children and can't agree on several other issues. I haven't had much time to process everything. These past weeks have been like a blur in every way. But one thing I can say for certain is that I have nothing left for Emily. not because she betrayed our marriage, but because how easily she walked away from our children. I never thought I could hate someone I once loved so much. It's a very strange feeling. The hardest part in all of this is the children. My 2 youngest daughters have started asking why their mother isn't around anymore, and it's been very difficult to try and communicate with them about the nature of the situation. My elder seems to understand a little more, and as a result, he has become quiet and withdrawn. I'm fortunate to have family that has been incredibly supportive so far. My children have received numerous thoughtful letters from some of their cousins, which I've been reading to them each night.
That's beautiful.
All my siblings have sent gifts for my kids, and one of my brothers, along with his wife, drove up to visit over the past weekend. My sister-in-law even prepared plenty of food, some of which is still in the freezer. They also kept the children entertained while I met with my lawyers. My other siblings have also offered to come by and look after the kids whenever I need them. Beyond that, my parents have been calling in to check on us daily, and my 78-year-old mother has already made plans to stay with us for 2 weeks in November to help around the house. The collective effort of my family has made this experience much more bearable, and I'm deeply grateful for their support. To everyone who encouraged me to speak with Emily after my last post, I'm grateful. I was tempted to ignore Eleanor's message, but it kept gnawing at me. Your advice gave me the courage to act. Emily has shown herself to be a liar, and I have no doubt that her idea of a better time was simply when it would cause the least inconvenience for her and Jake. And that is the first update.
I hate them both.
Yeah.
You know what I honestly wish is for Emily to get cheated on again by Jake. So she has nothing left in UK besides, again, trash ass beans and toast. Shepherd's pie do be banging though, so I'll give you guys that. And if Jake does cheat again, I hope he catches an STI to the point that it's so bad that he has to get castrated so he can never use his PP again.
Might be better for the world.
And I wish they have the most miserable freaking life that they ever lived.
Yep.
Because they suck.
They do suck. Yeah. All right. On to update number 2, which is very long. This one was on November 13th, so almost a month later.
Okay.
This is more of a venting session. Would you guys rather just get to the next update? There are a couple important things in here, though.
Let us know, chat.
We can go through it if you want.
Yeah, you let us know. What do you want?
But
we're just waiting.
I know. Vent session?
You want a vent session, yeah.
All right.
Tell us all. Everyone says read it.
Read it. All right. So, update 2. Think of this as less of an update and more of a chance to vent on a few things now that I've had more time to process my situation. I know that Emily often traveled back and forth to the UK during our marriage. She claims her affair with Jake only began in March of 2024, but I'm convinced she's lying. Yeah, I think so too. It's almost certain that it's been going on for years, given how much she's had time to prepare. After I confronted her, it's become clear to me and everyone else that she's been planning this for some time. In fact, within a few short days of our confrontation, she already had certain legal documentation prepared. Additionally, Jake arriving in Canada shortly after I confronted Emily made it clear that they had planned for her to tell me roughly around the date in advance. It made sense that Emily was well prepared and just waiting for things to be better lined up for herself. After all,
bitch.
Yeah. After all, she'd long since applied for her visa, secured a job, secretly appraised her car, which was our family car, though it was under her name, and sent personal items with Jake to the UK during his secret visits, all right under my nose. I have a feeling I'm only scratching the surface, and I have no real idea how far this actually goes. Not that Emily would ever tell me in depth. In addition to all of this, Emily has already been in touch with her lawyer long before I confronted her. Taking this all into account, it's hard not to wonder if she secured her job even earlier than she let on, perhaps to make her actions seem less calculated. 2 of Emily's friends have since reached out to express shock and disappointment by her actions. One of them, Janet, mentioned that according to another friend, Emily had been consulting her divorce lawyer as far back as late August or early September, so nearly a year before this came
Then
out.
why don't you become a grown up and have that conversation off the bat?
Just divorce.
It would
Fuck.
be so much more respectable if you do that. But instead, you do everything in secret. You want to sell the damn house. You want to sell the family car. So what? So your kid, I don't want my kids to get uprooted. But no, you want them to not have a fucking transportation. You don't want them to have a stable place to live or want to sell the place that they grew up in. Bitch, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God. This is making me angry.
Another friend also confirmed my suspicion that Emily had been sending some of her belongings to the UK during Jake's visits. I've been losing sleep, replaying the last few months in my mind, maybe driving myself a little crazy, but certain things stand out. For example, when Emily went to the UK in August for the wedding, she was carrying 3 full suitcases, 3 fully loaded suitcases.
That's not a red flag. That's just us all the time.
That's crazy.
two-day trip. It's like, yeah, I'm checking in a bunch of shit.
I had like a carry-on for our snowboarding trip. I was like,
Hell no, brother. I don't know how you do it. Man, when we fucking went to Japan, Korea, we checked in 4 luggages and like 2 suitcases and carry-ons. I'm like,
that's crazy.
We travel heavy all the time.
Emily had told me that they were filled with presents for her friends, and I didn't question it, even though it seemed a bit excessive at the time. When I picked her up from the airport after her trip, I noticed the bags were suspiciously light. I can assume that in addition to the job interview she claimed to attend, she transported a bunch of her personal items to the UK, which would explain why that since her return, she seemed to have been wearing a smaller selection of her clothing. Despite this, I was somehow blindsided and completely blamed myself, which you should not do. This is not on you. Looking back, I can see there were signs I ignored, and I guess I didn't think Emily was capable of this sort of thing. A part of me wonders if this outcome could have been entirely avoided had I been more assertive and vigilant in the past. The worst part of it all is that my children are now dealing with the consequences of my ignorance and stupidity. While I twiddle my thumbs, my wife had been essentially starting a new life. And again, this is your wife's fault.
Yeah,
for doing all this.
And you shouldn't. It's such a bare minimum to feel secure and like have some sort of like feeling of like, oh, they would never do this to me because they're my partner.
That's literally it. You should trust your partner. You shouldn't have these thoughts in your mind because you are like, yeah, my wife would never do this. That's absolutely healthy to think that. Like that is, this is an insane scenario, and your wife is a piece of shit for everything she's done, and that's not on you.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, why is he blaming himself? It's like, bro, because you were taking care of like 3 kids. And she out here fucking, cheating around. Like,
yeah,
you should be worrying about your damn kids at the moment. She a grown ass woman, and y'all made a promise together in marriage that in sickness and health that y'all gonna be together. And she's doing all these things behind your back, brother. None of it is your fault.
No, not at all.
Oh my God.
Most people in my life know about the separation with Emily. I've stopped wearing my wedding band, and I've explained the situation to friends and colleagues who have noticed its absence. One of my close friends and many others who have reached out privately on Reddit have suggested I get a DNA test for the children, given Emily's travel pattern and tendency to lie. While I understand where they are coming from, this is something I'll never do. I'd never assign my children to another man, and nothing will change that. Which,
yeah,
he sees himself as their dad. He's going to be their dad
the whole time. Yeah.
And I can guarantee, even if you did find out they were Jake's, he would not take them in. Yeah.
And why would you go give her to a mom who was just willingly, just like that, say like, you know what, go ahead, I'll surrender all my rights. No, hell no. Yeah. Those are your babies. Fuck.
Absolutely. Life without Emily has thus far been difficult. Mornings have become a hectic rush between getting the kids ready and getting myself out the door. I'm barely on time for work nearly half of the week. It's frankly exhausting trying to keep up with the extra parenting duties I have to perform throughout the day. Our current home has a large driveway, so on top of everything else, I'm already dreading the task of shoveling it once the snow starts falling. Something you don't have to worry about, John, but
hell no.
is a concern.
I did have to worry about. I'm hiring mother. Plus, I don't go out the house, so it's all good.
The kids are feeling the strain as well. They don't particularly like the food I prepare most days, and they hate how I'm always busy. It's incredibly frustrating to know that while we're here struggling, Emily recently departed for a relaxing vacation through Europe with Jake. Communication between us has dwindled, and I only learned of this development recently. I have no idea if she plans to return to Canada after her vacation or settle directly into what will likely be a very comfortable life in the UK. On a positive note, I was able to get the kids to see their doctor recently. She gave me a bunch of useful resources and advice. She placed an emphasis on how time and clear communication were the most important factors for their adjustment. While I'm optimistic, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't worried. It's still early, I know, but they remain quite upset about the entire ordeal and act out regularly as a result. It's abundantly clear that they are having a hard time adjusting to our new reality. Throughout all of this, my family has been tremendous support. My mother arrived as promised early last week, and things have already become slightly easier. The kids enjoy her cooking and spending time with her. Her presence has also freed me to handle other tasks. Whenever the divorce is finalized, I plan to designate my eldest brother and sister-in-law as legal guardians for the children. They live relatively nearby and have already agreed to take on that role if needed. Which brings me some peace of mind. However, I highly doubt this will be anytime soon, given my much busier schedule and Emily dragging her feet before the traveling. The whole process has been slowed to a snail's pace. Which I gotta say, the least Emily could do is just make sure everything goes through. She's had fucking over a year to prepare.
My
the hell?
God.
One of the hardest aspects of all this has been making decisions about our family home. After considerable thought and speaking out over it many times with my family, I'm leaning towards selling it at this stage. Emily has already offered me a bit more than half of the proceeds since she sold our SUV right before leaving the country.
It better be all.
Gotta say,
it gotta be all.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Fuck you, Emily. You deserve none of it. That's insane.
Sorry, Emily in the chats. We're not talking about you.
Yeah.
This Emily.
Fuck. My lawyer has noted that selling the SUV before we finalized anything was premature on her part, considering I contributed significantly, which is about 40%, to the purchase. He thinks I have a strong ground to seek reimbursement somewhere else in our asset division, which aligns with Emily offering more of the house. Getting more than half seems fair, given that I contributed about 65 to 70% of the down payment and monthly mortgage payments. So I think you should be getting like 80%.
All of it. No, I want all.
Oh, well, yeah, I would argue. I would say minimum 80%.
Oh my God.
That's insane. As I mentioned above, the family SUV was registered in only her name. However, I covered about 40% of the cost, so it's really frustrating she sold it unilaterally. As I've learned over the past several weeks, my sedan is too snug for the kids and inconvenient for my mother to duck in and out of when she runs errands. Therefore, I'll need to trade it up for something larger. In return, Emily has graciously insisted I keep the furniture and appliances.
Get bent, Emily.
The least she can do, I suppose. As much as a part of me would like to stay in our current home, it's probably better for us to move. Part of me hopes this will help us avoid future interference from Emily, though in reality, she's just as likely to interfere no matter where we are. I've been looking at townhouses closer to my place of work, which would cut down my commute and place us near a well-rated school. However, my sister brought up that moving the kids now would mean changing schools and losing their friends, which would be yet another change for them. An alternative option is that we would move to a smaller, more manageable house closer to our current one. This would reduce my workload and allow the kids to stay at the same school. Regardless of which option we choose, the idea of a new home without Emily's memory is more appealing. Our current home location is yet another example of how foolish and short-sighted I've been. Its location was much more convenient for Emily's commute compared to my own. It worked out for a time as the kids' school was closer to Emily's work in case they needed her during the day, but now all of this is useless as my place of work is rather far. I've heard nothing from Emily's family, and frankly, I have no interest in reaching out.
Good.
As for Emily's future with Jake, I don't wish her... Jesus. I don't know how that... what was it? Senator who spoke for 24 hours or whatever it was? I don't know how he did it.
Take your time, buddy.
Crazy.
I'll do 2 stories in a row to give you a break after
Whoa.
this. How about that?
Sounds like a deal. Although they're going to be depressing stories, so I don't know if that actually helps me.
Nope. You're going to have to sit there and rest your voice, brother.
Shit. I don't wish her relationship to fail. The longer her life is stable, the less likely she'll disrupt ours. But I take solace in knowing she remains unaware of Jake's infidelity history. I don't feel any moral obligation to warn her about Jake's character, and Eleanor feels the same way. I've made a point to check in on Eleanor regularly. She doesn't have the same family support I do. Her immediate family is charmed by Jake's ample wealth and believes that she should do whatever it takes to keep him, even though it is clear that neither he nor Eleanor wants reconciliation. And that is update number 2.
I heard that Jake is a little loaded, ample wealth. This is my wish. Okay. I hope that Jake somehow is rich enough to be a private pilot and has their own plane. And Jake and Emily just happens to fly over the Bermuda Triangle. And in a video game, I hope they disappear fucking forever.
I like how you quickly slipped in a video game.
Legal purposes, people.
I don't condone violence.
Speaking of April merch.
It's not up yet, is it?
Oh, you know, Sean. It'll be up in like a couple of days.
But there is April merch coming out, and it will be the I don't condone violence merch.
Yeah.
Not up as of yet, but that's we're on track. Sean's still on track.
Yeah. He has about 2 days to like lower his average.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so there is another update here. Final one, 2 months after the previous update. So I've decided to make a quick update as many people have been asking how the children and I have been faring. I apologize for not being able to do this sooner as my current schedule does not allow much free time. Fair enough.
Dude, your life is so busy.
I was going to say. So far, things are a bit better. Life has become easier since I hired a nanny to help around the house and with the children. With her handling a sizable portion of the weekly chores, I've been able to focus more on work. I do enjoy my job, but lately I've been pulling in longer hours to keep our finances in check. Between legal fees, the nanny's salary, and a car I probably spent too much on, my expenses have been adding up fast. The longer hours mean I see less of the kids, but I tell myself it's temporary. I try to make time for them during the weekends when I'm not working, but even that's been difficult. They're adjusting slowly, though I know it'll be a long time before things feel even relatively normal if they ever do. I'm still figuring out where we'll live long term, and at this stage the house will almost certainly be sold, and I want a place for myself and the kids that has no connection to Emily. Over the past few weeks, I've been speaking with Eleanor less and less. Part of it's my schedule, but mostly I just don't see the point. Talking to her only reminds me of how good I had it before. The most important and annoying reason, however, is that Eleanor has decided to remain with Jake. She claims that he respects her somehow and has shown her
Lenore.
and has shown commitment to their family despite still being with Emily. According to her, he has demonstrated this commitment by prioritizing the children over his new relationship and by respecting her space. It is jarring considering how just a few months ago she was adamant about going through with the divorce, yet now she's canceled these plans entirely. Then again, maybe I shouldn't be surprised because by her own admission, this isn't Jake's first affair, and she's always forgiven him in the past. That's still crazy, though.
Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice. A fool can't get fooled again. But bitch, you did, Eleanor. What are you doing?
3 times. That's crazy.
Oh, you guys are so stupid.
And he's still actively with Emily, so it's like, what do you expect to change? Crazy. Emily still lives in an apartment Jake owns, while Eleanor remains in the family home with their children. Jake splits his time between the two, staying at the apartment during the week and coming home on weekends and sporadic weeknights. At the very least, Eleanor has made it clear that Emily isn't allowed at their family home, and Jake seems to respect that.
Okay.
That's a tough one.
So he's splitting time with 2 girls, and you're okay with that? Eleanor, what are you doing?
Just divorce him and take his money. I don't know what we're doing here.
You're living in a bad place, Eleanor.
Yeah. Emily rarely calls the kids during the week, and when she does, the conversations are brief, and she tends to whisper a lot. Since these calls take place rather late in her time zone, I imagine she doesn't want to disturb Jake's sleep. On weekends, when Jake is with his own family, Emily makes it more of an effort to talk to the children. However, these calls haven't been particularly long either, as I have felt they shouldn't interrupt the time I planned with the children. All of this is still very much a work in progress, which hopefully will get easier as time goes on. While part of me is still shocked by how things turned out, I think I have largely woken up to this new reality. And that is the final update in this crazy story.
Well, I don't know if OP will ever hear this because they'll probably be too busy in their life, but I want you to give yourself some grace first and foremost. You didn't ask for your life to be completely flipped upside down. You didn't ask for your kids to be put in such a compromising situation. You also didn't ask to be put in a compromising situation to where you have to explain to your kids what really happened, right? And it seems like your oldest kind of understands the situation, and the younger, it's probably be in due time. But, you know, no one is to blame in this situation but your ex-wife's selfishness. Yes, she may have birthed your kids. Yes, she may have been your partner for however long you guys were together, but she chose to do a selfish way out. And not only that, it's like she didn't think anyone but herself in that situation. She could have been unhappy. Sure, things happen in marriages and sometimes things don't work out the way they are. But you have 3 children that were relying on you. And for her to unilaterally decide every single step for her to get her, for her so she can get dick by Jake on the other side of the pond, right? without consulting with you or without having a game plan to make sure you guys are taken care of because she's giving up her right as being a parent. She is selfish. Again, I hope nothing but the worst for the both of them. And Eleanor, I felt sympathy for you in the first half, but the fact that you took this bitch back and you are living a double life. Bro, at this point, are you the mistress or are you, I mean, legally you're the wife, but at this time, like, he don't even care about you. You're always going to be the side piece. You're like half of the side piece. And we don't even know if he has more than one chick, you know? So it's like, I don't know what to tell you. Maybe because he's so loaded that you're enjoying a certain lifestyle that you like. And that's why you're, you know, hands off on this. But Eleanor, what are you doing?
Yeah, I wish she didn't stay with him because he doesn't deserve that.
No.
He's a piece of shit, and it sucks that he's getting everything he wants out of this whole thing. I wish nothing but the worst for him, for Emily, and I hope Eleanor.
Little Miss Advocate Poet. Jake is the only one winning here, and I hate it. We all hate it.
Yeah.
Fucking Jake.
True. And shout out to Angie, sends $10 and said, I appreciate the new merchandise. It is safe for work. Love all you guys. P.S. I turned my Get Therapy sticker into a magnet that sits on the back of my SUV for all to see.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Thank you very much, Angie, for that. That's awesome. We should just sell magnets. I don't know why we don't.
Yeah.
We'll talk to Sean.
You should make one that says honka honka for Get Therapy. It's a car magnet. It's perfect for cars. I'm just saying.
And then someone asked if Eleanor, Eleanor, Jesus Christ, if Artie gets treats. Artie does get treats occasionally, but I don't have any down here. So,
what's Artie's favorite treats?
We honestly give her the ones that they're like the little green ones. They help with the breath because she has bad breath.
Stinky.
Yeah, she's stinky.
Oh, I love puppy breath or like just animal breath. I don't care if it stinks, bro. I'm like, lay it on me. I don't give a shit if it's hot. Do it.
If it's hot.
I want to smell your breath. All right. I did promise to give you a break, brother. So I'll do 2.
Sounds good.
So that way your voice recovers. You want to go an eating break? That's fine. You can just mute yourself.
We're good. I don't have food down here either. I'm severely underprepared, like I said.
Yeah, well, we could take a break and then we'll get back because by peek behind the scenes, we are still going to record after.
Yeah, true.
But I'm doing all of it because Josh needs a break. All right?
I do.
He does. He's tired. Our boy's tired. All right. So again, 2 personal stories in a row here. Both depressing, not gonna lie to you. All right, this one is posted by younger sister of 6. The title is "My parents took my sister's side. Now they're crying about no one coming to visit them anymore."
Fuck around and find out.
All right, so I'm gonna read the whole thing in its entirety, including the edits, so that way you also get additional context. Otherwise, I would probably judge them pretty quick. So, all right, the story goes as this. "Hello, been a big time listener for over 2 years now. Ooh, thank you, younger sister of 6. Not rich enough for Patreon, unfortunately." Sean's disappointed. "I am a 29 female. Also sorry if this is long and a bit rambly, but I really need some advice. I guess I'll keep it simple here. My sister, S, is 38 female, is divorced, and is living with my parents. She has 2 kids that she sees on holidays in the summer, to which the kids come to their grandparents' house to do whatever. She villainized her ex-husband to the point of that even saying his name would send her into a fit of a rage. My parents took her in because, quote, she's alone, no one will support her, she doesn't have anybody else, and happily swallowed down her lies about it. S has really gone off the deep end and has been experimenting with drugs, mushrooms, heavy drinking, and such the last couple years, and despite mine and my other siblings' protests, our parents refused to do anything about it. It all sort of came to a head when my other sister, 31 female, decided enough was enough, and she refused to bring her children anywhere near our parents' house until something was done about it. For example, for the drugs need to be gone, the liquor's locked away and safely out of kids' reach. Just something, but no, nothing's been done. So she and the other members of the family refuse to bring their kids over anymore. Which I gotta say, fair. Those are not something that you should bring or have children exposed around those things.
Yeah. Well, depending on how like available it is, like if they were like locked away somewhere, and like no one was doing them while the kids were there, I could see that being fine. But if they couldn't make that kind of compromise, then yeah, I understand why you didn't come around.
Yeah. My parents refuse to believe that S is a problem and that M is being completely unreasonable for setting these boundaries. They want M to be the one to apologize to set things to right. Just placate S and things will be okay. Thing is, M has given my parents and S plenty of chances, but they continue to let her down. They take S's side, give into her tantrums, and refuse to talk sensibly to M at all. Mom and Dad have tried guilt tripping, promising to do better, but still they let her down again and again. I've tried talking to our parents about this, how S's behavior and constant complaints and tantrums are literally tearing the family apart. They claim that they didn't choose any side, but, quote, no one will support S through this incredibly hard time. I mean, her ex wasn't faultless by any means, but S was the main problem in it. So it's literally the bed she made for herself and she needs to sleep in it. I don't know. Personally, I'm so detached from it all and just trying to live my life that it doesn't matter anymore. But on the other hand, my parents will get in a huge amount of trouble if something happens and the police are called and drugs are on their property. They're obviously in a horrific, abusive situation at this point, so it's hard to fully blame them. But then again, they're both in their 60s, and if they had just listened to their other kids, then maybe things would have been fixed and different. Thank you guys for reading, and if there are any comments, I will definitely give clarifying questions either here as an edit or through the comments. To which they did provide some edit, so kind of gives an example why their parents are kind of the way they are at the moment. So,
okay.
First of all, thank you all so much for the many comments and the advice given so far. Shout out r/Reddit on Wiki. For the most part, hella great people, and shout out to Midscore. Again, top 5 subreddits in all podcasts. That's amazing.
Oh, yeah.
First of all, I'm incredibly moved by the kindness of all of you. Second, I'm so sorry to have forgotten this detail. I wasn't in the best mental mind. My parents are part of the LDS faith, and they're hoping to go on a senior mission together. So LDS, Latter-day Saints? Okay.
Yeah.
Utah people? Shout out Utah.
I think it's Mormons.
Oh.
I think we've done this many times on the show.
And I forget every single time. My parents are part of the LDS faith, and they're hoping to go on a senior mission together. That goes out the door if they have any criminal record, which is why I and the other siblings have been so hesitant to call any authorities. Though reading all of these comments made me realize that we're putting the hopes and dreams of these grown adults over the safety of S's children. I'm going to share this post with M, and hopefully we'll be able to come up with a solution and plan with the others. Thank you all so much, and I'll update as soon as I'm able with good news. So edit number 2. M just reminded me of some key points that I didn't even realize until now. So I guess M read the message or the post as well. Our other siblings don't really care because, and I quote, they sweep it under the rug as much as our parents do. They want to keep the peace because that's how it's always been done. They're also far enough away that it doesn't impact them directly, so it doesn't bother them. No one is actually brave enough to do anything because our parents' love has always been conditionally, and no one wants to alienate mom and dad for fear of not having any relationship with them. I'm the closest in the situation with the kids, and because I have to hold my boundaries every fucking day, I'm easier to blame in all of this. They agree with me behind closed doors, but no one stands with me against the onslaught. And the last edit, the hard part too is that we all still want a relationship with our parents despite their awful choices. If we did call CPS, then it would alienate us from our parents, and it's an extremely hard decision to do.
I'm okay. I'm a little confused. Okay. So how old is the daughter that's causing all the issues?
Sister S is 38 female, grown ass adult.
Okay. Why? Oh, I'm confused as to why CPS would be called.
Because it seems like sometimes because she has 2 kids that she sees on holidays in the summer, to which then the parents come to their grandparents' house to do whatever. So in those span of the holidays in the summer, the kids stay with the parents or the grandparents.
And do shrooms?
Well, the kids are kind of exposed to that. And then when OP's sister's kids also go to their grandparents, they try to tell them like, hey, I don't want to bring my kids here if those drugs, alcohol, shrooms are readily available.
Gotcha. Which makes sense. They're your kids. You can choose what you want to do with them. Yeah. Sandra and chat said what I was thinking. It's like, they're not even allowed coffee, but they're fine with shrooms and booze. That's what I was thinking. I was like, isn't that like off limits for LDS? Like that's a huge thing, like against their religion.
Don't they drink a lot of soda or some shit like that?
What's that?
Don't they drink a lot of soda?
Yeah, they do. It's like a loophole.
That has a lot of caffeine, don't it?
Yeah, it does. But it's cold. I don't know exactly what the rules are. I knew it at one point, but it's wild. Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely not pro doing drugs around kids. That's not what I was saying. I was just confused if there were kids in the house. But if there are and they are not, and they're exposed to it all the time, then yeah, that's definitely a shitty thing to do. And I mean, valid if you think they're in danger to call CPS on them. But yeah.
And I did see someone on the chat, and that's too much for me to look up. Otherwise I'll get really distracted. Someone said that elderly abuse is also possible too. So that way they kind of, because the parents are scared that any sort of like, or the kids are scared that any sort of activity involving like authorities or police kind of kills the dream of them going to some sort of mission with the LDS faith. But they're also kind of the parents have their hands tied. I mean, I don't know if they're enabling this kid, but she's also 38 fucking years old.
She's old enough to know better. Yeah. I was laughing because people are like, don't look up soaking.
What that mean? What does that mean? Soaking what?
Oh, do I get to describe what soaking is to John?
What does that mean?
Okay, this is something that Mormons do because they aren't allowed to have sex until marriage, right? It's like a big thing, or they go to hell, or I think. I don't truly know what it is. So what they do instead is they insert but don't move, if you know what I mean. So they're not doing the action of sex. They are just
no pumping. It's just straight up like
just hanging out. And then there's something else that they do. I don't know how true this is, but I've heard it talked about a couple times. Is if they're on like a bunk bed, they'll have a friend underneath kick the upper bunk so that they're not technically doing the movements while they're soaking.
What in the fucking physics loophole is this bullshit, bro? It's called soaking?
Yeah.
Why is it called soaking? What the? If it ain't moving, it can't be wet, right? That That shit gotta be dry as fuck.
I don't know, dude. Never done it. Oh, yeah. Roadkill says, why do you think it's called soaking? There you go, John.
I'm confused.
we found the kind of corn John's never heard of. Stevie says.
I don't be. Even my consumption is pretty vanilla. Soaking is new to me. Is this a new category that y'all fucked me up? Research soaking. Got to turn the VPN first.
Holy shit!
What in the fuck? I've never heard that before.
Emily says kitty wet.
Kitty dry.
Oh fuck. Yeah, that's yeah. I'm glad I got to break that to you, John. That was worth it just for the the look you had on your face.
Pop my soaking cherry. Is this what motherfuckers be? Is this a college experience in BYU to all
yes. That's I've heard of it from people who either went to BYU, like I heard podcasts talking about it. Yeah. So it's kind of a confirmed thing.
I'm ooh. I don't think I can live for the rest of the day.
No, you're good. You made it.
I'm like, okay, why am I visually fucking thinking about it?
No, don't do that.
Weird. Oh, yeah. All right, let's move on to the next story. My God, I'm ready to be sad again. My fucking brain is holy shit.
Thank God we broke it up there. You know what I mean?
Thank God. Please.
Oh, before we do, Lena the Conqueror sends $2 and said kitty wet. So.
Wait, hold on. Why am I seeing comments about what the fuck is this armpit thing now?
Oh, I don't know about that one, but I can guess.
What is this?
I can only guess instead of, putting it in there. They put it in. Like, is it Lena? Sorry. If it's Lena. I apologize. But yeah, I imagine it's in the armpit.
Y'all weird. Damn, how the fuck do I not know this shit, bro? I feel stupid
Honestly,
about it.
Thought you would know the most.
Anyways.
Disappointed, actually.
I'm disappointed in myself. I thought I was sick in the head. Golly. All right, moving on to armpit crabs epidemic at BYU. Why?
Oh, okay. So Amber in chat says I heard you can make a good amount of money being a shaker for people while they soak, which is what I was describing.
Like you're under?
Yeah, you're like kicking.
Hey, bro, I've been doing Pilates, bro. My fucking core must be good now.
You can make some money.
Kick that shit, I'll kick it all day. Kidding me? I fucking leg press damn near 600.
Kicking it with the homies.
Oh, that's wrong. So if we live in Utah, I'm about to kick it with the homies. That's kind of
what it means. Yeah. Also, Donatella said €2 and says kitty freeze dried. Super dry.
Kitty kicking. My goodness.
All right, John, depress us.
My God, my mind is fucking broken right now. Anyways, so this one is posted again, listener story by Mellow Hell No 15. The title is, "Am I the asshole for ghosting someone after they made hurtful comments about my OCD diagnosis?"
No. That's a valid thing to ghost someone over, I think.
Yeah,
because like ghosting can it's usually like a kind of a rude thing to do, but very common, obviously. And yeah, if the people are being dicks to you, you don't owe them the courtesy of letting them down. So yeah, ghost people.
Yeah, kick them in the curb, but not in that style. Right. So this happened a while ago, but after listening to Reddit on Wiki, that's us, for the last year or so, and hearing some stories that reminded me a bit of my past relationships, I figured I would throw this story on the Discord, especially since I'm still unsure if I handled it the best way. Here's the background. I, 25 female, was casually seeing Connor, 24 male. starting in August of 2024. At the time, we were on the same page about not wanting anything serious. I was planning on moving soon, and he was deployed overseas for 6 months, so we stayed in touch but didn't put any expectations on the relationship. I have a history of anxiety and mental health issues, but I didn't have a clear diagnosis until February of last year when I finally saw a new doctor. I'd been dealing with extreme health anxiety, which I later learned was actually a form of OCD, and they put moderate to severe, related to health and contamination obsessions. Once I got the diagnosis, I was relieved to finally have an answer and get out of the limbo situation I had been stuck in most of my life. But I was also crazy overwhelmed by the stigma and guilt I felt about it. I cried a lot after receiving my diagnosis and was really struggling emotionally and just wanted someone I trusted to talk to. At this point, I had been texting and FaceTiming Connor pretty regularly, so I reached out to him to share the news and get some support. Instead of offering comfort, his response was, "Yeah, honestly, that makes sense. I grew up with someone who had OCD and they were always so fucking annoying." I mean,
Jesus Christ.
yeah, OCD is tough for the people who have it, but it's even harder for the people who have to deal with you.
What the fuck? No, you ghost the fuck out of this guy. Holy shit.
Reading those messages absolutely shattered me. Instead of empathy or reassurance, he essentially told me my diagnosis was annoying and that it was harder for him to deal with me than it was for me to live with that disorder. It hurt deeply, and I felt completely invalidated. I told him that what he said was really messed up and hurtful, but after that, he didn't respond for 2 weeks. And when he finally did, he just said, "Happy birthday," with no mentions of what I'd said or how he'd hurt me. And this,
Fuck.
I was going to go on a rant about this. I'm like, first of all, he ghosted you first.
Yeah.
At that point, I realized I just couldn't continue this connection, so I did something very out of character for me, and I ghosted him. No response, no explanation. I removed him on all social media and didn't engage with him again. Most of my friends think I was well within my rights to do this, and some even think I should have called him out even more. But part of me still feels guilty for just disappearing without any follow-up explanation. So am I the asshole for ghosting him after how he responded to me opening up about my OCD?
What's that TikTok one where they go, "Fuck no."
Middle finger to my haters. I'm screaming out,
Fuck yeah.
"Fuck y'all."
But no, fuck no. You are not the asshole for that. That is such a dick move. And I'm with the friends that were like, you should have called him out harder. But I am also like, why spend more mental capacity to fix this piece of shit?
What about this, Mellow? Hell no. We're your friends now. What about we call him out harder publicly and embarrass the fuck out of Connor? First of all, red flag name, Connor, you little bitch.
I hope it was his real name.
I hope so. This is shout out to my friend Allie and Connor who just gave birth to a healthy baby girl. So
yeah.
Connor, I make fun of you all the time, buddy, because you said Legend of Zelda fucking sucks. So suck my ass, buddy. Anyways, but yeah, Connor, you stupid piece of shit. We're calling you out now. You're a douchebag. Good thing that OP ghosted you, you fucking dum-dum.
Yeah, Connor, you are a piece of shit. Emily says OCD's nuts, Connor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like what a shitty thing to do to someone who is, clearly going through something and just getting a diagnosis. If you have zero nice things to say,
I'm out. Just say I'm out, bro. Like I don't want to. Yeah.
Just don't. It would have been nicer of him to ghost her in this scenario. Like then say that shit. Because you're just, negatively impacting her life. And clearly you don't care about her. So you're not looking for anything serious. So why say anything if you're going to be a piece of shit? I hope you stay alone forever, Connor. And all those Tinder bots are the only thing that fill your message box. I was gonna say box, but then I realized that's your inbox.
Connor, I saw that you said that OP put that they're out in deployment right now. I hope your orders keep getting extended and you never go home for a long period of time. As a matter of fact, I wish if you were in a branch of the military, I wish you were in the Army and not in the Air Force. Because if you were in the Air Force, you're living good right now. If you're in the Army, However, you're living in some shitty ass fucking accommodations, and I hope scorpions crawl in your boots in the middle of the fucking night, and I hope your pillow is always warm and you never get air conditioning for the rest of your days in the service, Connor. So kiss my ass.
I hope he's the only one that gets deployed into Russia.
Yeah, I hope you get no signal anywhere. I hope they don't let you call home. I hope you have a miserable life, Connor.
Send Connor over. Oh, fuck. Crazy. What a piece of shit.
You have the rest. Are you the rest of your stories sad or happy?
I got one more if we want to do one more for today.
Yeah.
Because we got to record
Finish it
after
up.
this too. And then I've got to eat something because I'm starving.
Do it, brother.
All right. So this one was cross-posted by Full Grown Hip. Goat. They've been on here quite a bit.
Quite a bit. Bah, we missed the goat button on our episodes without you, by the way. We didn't have any of them.
True. I could add them in, I guess.
Nah, that's too much work.
Do it, yeah.
I made the noises for you. Barefoot Conrosa is going to hate it, but what are you going to do, Up?
Worth it.
You ain't going to do shit.
So this was originally posted on True Off My Chest. And this is a wild one, John.
Hey, it ain't wilder than the damn thing I learned today about freaking...
Ooh, I think you're wrong. Oh,
really?
I think you're wrong.
I totally forgot what it was called now. Sticking?
Soaking.
What is it? Soaking. Sticking.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
There's
And then
sticking
there's
involved,
being a shaker. Yeah. You got
I ain't
it.
gonna lie. If I get paid a lot to be a shaker, I'll be a shaker.
Yeah, I mean, nothing wrong with being a shaker.
I get my workout in too. Shit.
All right, so this one is titled, I think my husband is sleeping with his sister again.
So we got Utah and Alabama representation today. Let's go.
So
Wait, hold on. Read the title again. Did I say again?
I think my husband is sleeping with his sister, brackets, again.
Not the first time.
Okay, so which one's crazier now, John? The soaking or this? Where are we at?
Again is wild though.
Again is crazy.
This ain't The Sims, right? This is for real, for real?
This is for real, for real. True off my chest. Not even Sims.
Y'all breaking the fuck out of me today, bro. Like,
I'm trying. See, I'm so disoriented coming on. I had to bring you down to my level with these fucked up stories.
I'm disoriented all the time, and I'm extra disoriented today.
All right, let's hop into it. So, when my hubby was 12, his mother passed away. At age 14, his father remarried. She also had a daughter his age. They all lived in one house. Apparently, my husband and his stepsister used to sneak around their parents and engage in adult activities. This went on for years. Me and my husband married at 23. I always thought my husband and his stepsister were close, but I just assumed it was from growing up together.
What are you doing, step bro?
Literally. A few years ago, I found out my husband was having an affair with his stepsister. I didn't even know what to say. I had no idea this relationship even existed. I can't even wrap my head around it. Obviously, me and my husband entered counseling where I found out all the details from his childhood and how close they really were. Somehow, I was able to overcome it for the sake of our children, which I gotta say, you don't have to.
Y'all need to stop overcoming infidelity sometimes, people. What are you doing?
Just leave. Just leave. However, for the past few months, my husband has been acting weird, coming home late, being protective of his phone, and not wanting to have sex. And in brackets, he always does. And I swear I can even smell his sister's perfume on him. We barely got through this the first time, and I'll be devastated if I find out it's happening again. My husband claims that she was his first love, but I'm his forever and after love, the one he can't live without. And that is the story.
I want to blow my head. What?
Yeah. Leave this piece of shit. If it wasn't his stepsister, which is crazy, he's still cheating on you. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't have to do any deeper than that. But the fact that it is deeper than that makes it even more insane.
Blood is thicker than water, and I don't want to talk about it anymore. I need therapy after this.
Yeah. Well, you can get therapy. Shirts at our merch store.
Ooh.
You see that?
I love it. I was gonna say, bro, I love it, but she was probably saying it too.
Strange lower score lady in the comments said, "Ew, everyone needs to stop staying with nasty ass partners for the sake of children. Doing this is worse for the children. Kids are going to find out when they're a few years older and know that their mom stayed with their dad who was fucking their aunt. That'll definitely lead to some super healthy relationships for their kids in their teens and adult years. Yikes a Rooney Dooney." I gotta say, I like that. So yeah, that was
I ain't reading no fucking personal story anymore for the rest of the goddamn time. One, this was stressful as hell to read all this shit. I was mind blown learning the fuck about this new shit that I learned about. And now you end the stream with damn incest. I hate it. I need a break.
I wanted to go back to porn that you were more familiar with, John. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not. Hell no, I would never. I mean, at least they're actors when I see some of those, right?
They're not actually related. Oh, that's so fucking wild.
If we had to live with this trauma, WikiManiacs, y'all gonna join us. So we're gonna have a collective group therapy here, and I got nothing. I'm traumatized today.
Our collective group therapy. It's called our Discord.
Oh, that's true. That's true. I wasn't there today because they were talking about water, and I get really passionate about my water bottles. Yeah.
Yeah.
Motherfuckers rated Dasani like a 5, and then a freaking Mountain Valley a 6. Like, they're not even close to the same levels. One away from each other? Like, are you kidding me?
Okay, you're gonna have to give me context. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Good. Go to our Discord, join our Discord channel, and just watch me rant. That's all I do.
Oh, how do you feel about Evian?
Evian?
Yeah.
Evian is like a good baseline water for me.
Okay. Like a 7?
I'd give it like a 7.
Okay. That's cool. I don't drink too many bottled waters. I like to just drink from the tap. I don't have bottled water drinking money. But yeah.
See, now we're talking about water. Just learn about soaking. Hate it here. Hate it here.
Tell you about my trip a little bit if you want.
Tell us, brother. Did you eat shit from fucking skiing?
Did I like fall?
Yeah.
Once, really, like once that was like noticeable. Couple like tumble overs, but nothing crazy. But yeah, so I went to Banff for the first time ever with some buddies. It was a good time. We saw one of my friends that lives out there. Went snowboarding on the mountains, which scary as shit. I'm an okay snowboarder. You know what I mean? Like, I snowboarded a lot when I was a child, and then I've done it like 3 times in my adult life. So we got to the top of the mountain, and I was like, I'm gonna die. This is it.
Did you have to use a ski? What do you call it? A ski lift?
So there's a gondola that takes you up,
gotcha.
anyway, and then you take ski lifts up to go even higher. Crazy, super beautiful. One of the best, like, most amazing places I've ever seen. Banff itself, and then the mountains that we were in. We saw Lake Louise, which was super cool. Obviously frozen over, so not as cool as when it's, not. But yeah, beautiful place. I didn't die, which was
here.
That
Jet
was my
lagged
goal.
and all.
It's like I can't get injured because my buddy's wedding's in a month and a half. Who was also there.
Is the wedding also in that part, or like it's gonna be around you guys?
No, it's closer by. It's actually in my hometown. So
sweet.
Yeah. So super cool. Definitely recommend if anyone else wants to ever visit Banff.
Banff is a bucket list for mine. I would love to see that place someday.
It was crazy though, going up to Banff the night of, because we landed in Calgary and then drove up. There was like 3 transport trucks in the ditch, and then probably like 11 cars in the ditch as we were driving up, just because like the weather was so bad. Crazy.
Jealous.
Well, not jealous of them in the ditch.
Share some pictures on the Patreon, so put it behind a paywall, Josh.
I'll probably post some on my Insta, but
Sean likes that shit. He won't give us an approval if you post that shit for free.
you're right. He'll take another show from me.
He will.
But that is it for the live today, WikiManiacs. We appreciate you sticking with us through the technical difficulties.
Sorry about that.
Apologies, but I'm so glad it did not happen again. What I might do is take this down and then repost it as a stitched together thing later today on YouTube. So you only have to watch the one instead of jumping back to see the intro. So I'll do that. And then this will also be posted on Spotify, Patreon, all that kind of stuff as well, sometime today. But yeah, keep an eye out for our new merch. Sean should be putting that up within the week. And if you want more content, like the bonus stories combined episode that's coming out later today, you can subscribe, hit join on our YouTube, or join our Patreon at patreon.com/cultivate podcast network. Eunice says soaking kitty wet merch. Is that going to be a thing, John?
No, it's either you love it or you hate it. So
yeah,
I don't know what to tell you.
I'm not designing that, so it could just be like a wet cat on a shirt. Then it's like, yeah, then the people that get it, and other people are just like, oh yeah, it looks.
We gotta do honka honka though. We're definitely gonna do that because
yeah.
Mid-Score's suggestion of donating to breast cancer awareness.
Yes,
that would be great.
That would be amazing.
Yeah.
Are we open to user submitted designs? I think we absolutely would be. We've worked with a listener to design some stuff before, so
shout out Janelle.
Absolutely, we can absolutely talk to some people if they're interested in doing some designs for us. So yeah.
Oh, quick reminder again, every merch Venmo donations, they do go straight to charitable causes. So I know the monthly merch, we typically pick a charity or WikiManiacs help us choose a charity, and then for the Venmos or the PayPal donations that you send out, I believe they can choose the charities that they can donate to, right, Josh?
On PayPal, not on Venmo.
On PayPal, yeah. And then the Venmo one, I believe we divvy up equally to the ones.
Yeah. We figure out where to go with that.
So hopefully, you're helping us, and you're also helping charitable causes, and we're hoping that it leads to good karma because we all need it.
Yeah, and they're usually some charities that are submitted by you guys, so always good ones as well. So yeah, without further ado, we will close out the stream. We appreciate you being here, and we'll see you tomorrow if you're rich. If not, we'll see you Friday.
Soaking.
Bye.
Get therapy.